Hello, it's just a top up on my previous videos of high toss and hand pressure. So for my previous video on high toss I was using an old racket with the long handle to practice this, but I'll just return to kind of a medium sized racket, and I'll try to do an exaggerated high toss and just to hit it kind of slowly with my oversized racket. So I generally use kind of a low to medium toss, so it will take me a while to get into the rhythm of a high toss, and one way to do that is just to kind of an excessive kind of toss, just so I can learn to improvise if I toss it kind of awry. So I'll try practice that. I'll just use an Aussie 22-degree grip, by the way. So I don't think even the person who uses high tosses would ever throw it that high, but it's just to practice kind of getting a feel for the downward momentum on the contact point. So if you're doing kind of a low toss, it's kind of steady at contact, the ball, or it's just kind of slightly on the ascent phase, whereas if you're throwing it very high, the ball will come back down and it'll be descending kind of fast, which might put an extra tiny bit of momentum on the ball as well. So my aim there wasn't necessarily to hit it too fast, but just to improvise. So I'll just try doing the same type of toss, but trying to hit it kind of at a more fast speed. So as you can see, I'm kind of stepping back or stepping forward a small bit when I'm trying to hit the ball. So it will kind of take a lot of practice to throw it that high and to get it in a location where you intended to strike it. I wouldn't want to be kind of stepping back a few steps after tossing it in a match, but I suppose that's handy when you're just playing against the wall. I'm just kind of practicing just a general technique. So that's something I'll need to continue, because it might be handy as well to get the symmetry from the forehand and the backhand. It's just a different emphasis with a different feel on the contact point. So my other video I was referring to is the hand pressure video. We're doing kind of just a discussion about the heightening the hand pressure just at contact, but I'll just continue that with a two-handed shot. I won't demonstrate it because it's not very visible, because hand pressure is just kind of subtle. So for example, if I use a double Eastern two-handed shot, I could do kind of a practice where I hold my right hand very firm and my left hand very loose, and this will kind of emphasize my dominant hand, my dominant right hand when I'm swinging it. Vice versa, I could hold my left hand extremely tight and just my right hand very loose. So just for extreme exaggeration, I just have the fingers kind of almost off the grip. I could also widen the grip length and do the same technique of having one hand tight and one hand loose. So I'll use my dominant hand kind of tight. And afterwards I can do kind of an exercise of having both hands at the exact same hand pressure, either both very loose or both very tight. And so it's worth experimenting. For example, if you're trying to relate it to a one-handed technique, so if you're using a one-handed Eastern front-side backhand, then you can first of all try to relate it with a two-handed shot by keeping your dominant hand tight and your second hand kind of loose, your top hand loose. So that'll make it feel kind of much more similar to a one-handed shot. And afterwards you can kind of tighten your top hand instead, and this will relate kind of the Eastern forehand, your Eastern forehand technique, to your Eastern backhand frontside technique, and will kind of ensure that they're kind of similar. And I suppose when your two-handed shot kind of feels kind of as similar as a one-handed shot in terms of flexibility, so that's an indicator that you've kind of the technique fairly well sussed out. So thank you.